The Unholy Choir. Entering the small town, I couldn't help but be drawn to the imposing church that stood at its centre. It was a relic of Gothic architecture, its spires reaching towards the heavens. Intrigued, I attended a Sunday service, only to find myself ensnared in a tale of malevolence that transcended the earthly realm. As the organ played a haunting melody, the congregation began to sing. However, their voices weren't of praise but of anguish. Panic set in as the hymn transformed into a chorus of tormented souls, their voices carrying the weight of unspoken horrors. The church's once beautiful stained glass windows flickered, casting grotesque shadows on the pews. Spectral figures manifested, their hollow eyes fixed on me. They whispered of a dark pact made in the church centuries ago, a covenant that bound their souls to an unholy choir. I tried to leave, but the doors had vanished. The spirits advanced, their ghostly forms blocking every exit. I was trapped in a place where the boundaries between the living and the dead had blurred. In the church archives, I discovered an ancient tome describing a cursed ritual performed by a misguided congregation. The spirits implored me to undo the ritual, to release them from the spectral choir. As I spoke the incantations in the ancient text, the atmosphere shifted. The organ's haunting melody ceased, and the unholy choir dissipated into the shadows. The church returned to its former serenity, the stained glass windows radiant once more. The memory of the unholy choir still haunts me. A chilling reminder that even the most sacred places can harbour the echoes of a sinister past. The Silent Sermon. On a stormy night, seeking shelter from the downpour, I stumbled upon an old church seemingly abandoned for years. Its towering steeple loomed against the lightning-lit sky, casting ominous shadows on the overgrown cemetery. Little did I know, the church held a sermon that transcended the realm of the living. As I entered the dimly lit sanctuary, I heard faint whispers in the air. The pews were filled with spectral figures, their eyes fixed on the pulpit. Panic set in as the preacher, a shadowy silhouette, began a sermon that resonated not through words, but through a profound silence. The spirits in the pews reached out to me, their ghostly hands imploring me to listen. They spoke of a tragic fire that had claimed the lives of the congregation, a fire that left their souls bound to the silent sermon. I tried to flee, but the church had become a nightmarish labyrinth. The spirits pursued me, their ghostly forms blocking every exit. I was trapped in a place where the boundary between the living and the dead had been erased. In a hidden chamber beneath the pulpit, I uncovered a charred Bible containing an inscription. It spoke of a vow made by the preacher and congregation to remain in eternal silence as a penance for a dark secret. The spirits implored me to break the silence, to free them from the mute sermon. As I uttered words of absolution, the oppressive silence shattered. The spirits faded into the ethereal, and the storm outside ceased. The church, once a vessel of silence, embraced the echoes of life once more. The memory of the silent sermon still haunts me. A chilling reminder that sometimes the most profound stories are told not through words, but through the echoes of the past. Choir of Shadows. The old church, nestled between ancient oaks, beckoned with its weathered spire reaching towards the heavens. Intrigued by its Gothic allure, I decided to explore its sacred halls, hoping to uncover the history that lay within. Little did I know that the hallowed sanctuary held secrets that would shatter the boundaries between the divine and the demonic. As I crossed the threshold, an unsettling chill swept through the nave. The air hung heavy with the scent of aged wood and musty hymnals. Panic set in as the flickering candles cast dancing shadows on the stone walls. The once silent church was now filled with a haunting melody, the ethereal whispers of a phantom choir. The spectral figures of former parishioners materialized, their eyes glazed with an otherworldly fervor. They spoke of a curse that had descended upon the sacred space, a malevolent force that sought to pervert the sanctity of the church. The once reverent pews now held the forsaken souls, condemned to an eternal chorus in the choir of shadows. I tried to flee, but the church had transformed into a nightmarish labyrinth. The spirits pursued me, their ghostly forms blending with the shadows. I was trapped in a place where the boundaries between the sacred and the profane had been erased. In the sacristy, I discovered an ancient manuscript, its pages filled with cryptic verses and forbidden rituals. The spirits implored me to decipher the verses, to unearth the curse that bound them to the choir of shadows. As I recited the incantation within the manuscript, the atmosphere shifted. The spectral figures dissolved into the dimly lit sanctuary, and the haunting melody ceased. The candles flickered and then steadied. Silence descended upon the church like a shroud, and for a moment, the air seemed purified. Believing the curse broken, I cautiously left the nave. However, the once hallowed halls had not been cleansed. The shadows clung to the pews, and the echoes of the phantom choir persisted in the stillness. The curse had not been lifted. Instead, it had woven itself into the very fabric of the church. As I ventured into the choir loft, the haunting melody intensified. The spectral figures, now merged with the ethereal energy, surrounded me. Their vacant eyes bore into my soul, and a malevolent force gripped the air. The church, now a vessel for the cursed souls, became a conduit for a darkness beyond comprehension. The stones beneath my feet seemed to pulse with an ominous energy. The once sacred space transformed into an otherworldly realm, where the divine and the demonic coexisted in a delicate balance. The hymns that once echoed with reverence now resounded with an unholy discord. The curse of the church, instead of being lifted, had become a symbiotic entity, merging with my very essence. The spectral figures, now part of the haunting energy, beckoned me to join their eternal chorus. The once hallowed sanctuary had become a gateway to a realm where the divine and the infernal converged. The memory of the church, now a choir of shadows, still haunts me, a chilling reminder that some curses are not meant to be broken, and the sacred can become a vessel for the profane. As I carry the haunting melody within me, the church stands as a testament to the delicate balance between the divine and the demonic. A place where the echoes of a phantom choir linger in the shadows, forever entwined with the soul of the forsaken.